of your targets.
These are the nuclear weapons of the 21st century.
Al Jazeera Investigations.
A footballer, a doctor and a pioneer for his sport. He lost the chance to play for his country, but won a legal battle that paved the way for a generation of Brazilian players. Footballing legend Eric Cantona introduces Afonso. Penalised by his club for his political beliefs, he took power into his own hands and blazed a trail for players' rights. Football Rebels on Al Jazeera.
The latest news.
Church leaders say there will be no closure until justice is served, and the identities of those behind the Easter bombings are revealed.
With detailed coverage.
There's something else significant about this plot. It represents an invisible dividing line between the wealthier and the poorer.
From around the world.
The man who knelt on his neck, he has spent the week in a Minneapolis courtroom where the court is selecting jurors to decide if he should be convicted of murder.
We understand the differences and similarities of cultures across the world. So no matter where you call home, Al Jazeera will bring you the news and current affairs that matter to you. Al Jazeera.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu casts his vote in the election, the fourth one in just 2 years, an election that's seen as a referendum on Netanyahu. I'm Fuli Batibo. You're watching Al Jazeera live from Doha. Also ahead, Russia supports China in condemning Western sanctions on Beijing over alleged human rights abuses of Uyghur Muslims. Another attempt to discredit Aung San Suu Kyi. Myanmar's military accuses the former leader of corruption, saying she received bribes, including cash and gold. At least 7 people are killed in a fire that's devastated a Rohingya refugee camp in Bangladesh. So Israelis are voting for a fourth election in just 2 years. Live pictures right now of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife casting their ballots. According to some opinion polls, Netanyahu and his Likud party remain popular, and that is despite corruption cases against him and an economy struggling because of the coronavirus pandemic. The question now is whether he'll be able to secure a majority in parliament or, like previous elections, be at the mercy of a coalition that could lead to more political instability. Again, live pictures there of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife Sarah casting their ballots in today's election. Let's bring in Natasha Gonem, who's following the election for us from West Jerusalem. She's at a polling station there. So we've seen the Israeli Prime Minister just now cast his ballot. Natasha, how motivated are Israelis about this election? I mean, it's a fourth one in just 2 years. Is there any enthusiasm at all, or election fatigue, perhaps?
There is definitely some election fatigue, weariness, and some people we've been speaking to today say they actually fear and a lack of hope. I'm joined this morning by Carol Goldberg. She has just cast her vote here in West Jerusalem. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
May I ask who you voted for and why?
I voted for the Yamina Party, which is Naftali Bennett. I believe that we need some new blood. I believe that he is a businessman and he could really bring a lot of growth to Israel. Security is important to him, and that's important to me too.
So more than half of Israelis who were recently polled say they want Netanyahu out. Yet conventional wisdom is he will amass the most votes of any party and then somehow, in a route you're very familiar with, try to cobble together a coalition. Why do you think that the support for Netanyahu remains so high, even after 3 consecutive failed governments, and he has 3 corruption trials ahead of him?
You know, I really believe he's a statesman, and I really believe, despite some of the things he's facing, he really knows his stuff. I mean, I'm not very eloquent about this.